In Long Beach, the family of Doug Zerby and their attorney today held a press conference announcing they will file wrongful death claims with the state after officers shot and killed Zerby when they believed the water nozzle he was holding was a gun.
Mistake tragedy from avoidable, because the word tragedy suggests that this was an unavoidable event. And make no mistake about it, that this shooting on December 12th, 2010 was completely avoidable. And we shouldn't even be here today talking about this situation, because it's not a tragedy. It was an ambush. Not a tragedy, but it was a flat-out ambush on Doug Zerby. This young man never had a chance on December 12, 2010.
Pasadena-based attorney Brian Claypool said the family will file a federal civil rights suit against the Long Beach Police Department, as well as state claims that include wrongful death, negligence, and battery.
Members of the Long Beach Police Department had ample time after they arrived at the scene to identify themselves and give Doug Zerby a warning. It's our position that members of the Long Beach Police Department had at least 10 to 15 minutes after arriving at the scene to attempt to communicate with Doug Zerby. Now imagine this. You've got a 911 call, no crime's been committed. There was no indication in that 911 call that Doug Zerby had ever committed a crime. He's sitting on the porch. So what would common sense tell you would be the first thing you do when you arrive at the scene? Well, I would think that you might want to check to see if Doug Zerby really has a gun in his hand, right? Why not do that? Chief McDonald indicated that he believed that all of his officers on the scene were in danger of being harmed by Doug Zerby, and that therefore they didn't have time to say, "We are here, drop your weapon." Now let me tell you why that factual proposition is flawed. We have determined through our investigation that there was one police officer situated no further than about 12 feet away from where Doug Zerby was sitting. It's not 30 to 40 feet that you read about in the papers and everybody's talking about. So it's our position that that officer, who was at a 90-degree angle from Doug Zerby, he was also in a position of cover and he was protected. All he had to do was stand behind a piece of brick, yell out through the screen door, because everybody said it was as quiet as can be there, and say, "Hey, Long Beach PD, drop your gun." They were there 10 to 15 minutes. That never happened. It is preposterous to accept in this community that these police officers didn't have an opportunity to apprehend Doug Zerby short of killing him. I want you to answer one question, everybody in this community. Do you really think that if the goal of the Long Beach Police Department on December 12, 2010 was to protect the community and the public from Doug Zerby, then why in the world would you shoot shotguns in a residential, tightly knit courtyard where there are people in the apartments? And why would you blast 20 rounds into this tight courtyard? People could have been killed in either of those apartments. And I will tell you this, we've confirmed that there were at least 5 to 6 people in these units when the shooting occurred, and everybody's ducking for cover. So shooting 20 rounds and shotguns at Doug Zerby was the best choice over risking the lives of other people that were in these apartments. I've been to the scene several times, and I will tell you, that area looks like a shooting range. It was target practice on December 12, 2010. Target practice for the Long Beach Police Department.
A memorial service for Doug Zerby will be held at McKenzie Mortuary at 7 p.m. on Saturday, December 18th.
There was a